Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this Monday morning. Get our week started off with some great news from Panhandle Outdoors. Started our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center. And we have a special guest in the studio today from Haney Technical Center, so we'll talk a lot more about that later. Our weather is just ideal. It's going to be 72 degrees, and it'll be high today, and low tonight is going to be 59. So you got about 12, 13 degree variance there. Very comfortable. Some of this wind maybe blow out the humidity and all, but the water temperature has gone up a degree by 62 degrees now, so it's a little bit 1 degree warmer than it was last week. Our tide chart, is still dropping over on the Choctawhatchee River, and I'm sorry, the river reading right there. Okay, let's go from river reading to now let's go to tide chart. I can tell. We'll get started off right now. The tides now, all week long now, we're going to start going to some smaller tides. Today's the 14th, and we got a little bit of a tidal flow. We got a low tide this morning at 8:13 and a high at 11:02, but the rest of this week now, we're not going to have much of a tidal flow right there. If you get a chance, check the wind out. The wind's going to have a lot of variance on the shape of the tides. If you got a north wind, the north bays, the west bays, and all, if it's a strong north wind, it'll be low tides most of the day and all. Okay, let's take a look at our Monday moon phase. We're on a waxing moon. Today's the 14th, and we've got a strong. We just got a new moon this past weekend, and now we're waxing up, and we've got a full moon like next weekend. So see what's going on this week. All right, that takes care of all our weather, and we'll be right back with our special guest. All right, welcome back, folks. Here's our special guest, Mike Heppenstall. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
Well, you hear me talk a lot about Mike. He's a principal there at the Haney Technical Center, but great outdoorsman, loves to fish and all, and catches a lot of fish. We're going to show you pictures and all later, but Mike, we're glad to have you on the show.
Glad to be here.
Well, anytime we get school administrators who are outdoorsmen, I'm just tickled. And we have Brian Revere up at Vernon High School. He's a big outdoorsman. We've got some other administrators who are outdoorsmen. But Mike, first of all, we got all kind of fishing stuff and talk about that later. But let's talk about Haney first. What's going on at Haney Technical Center? Because I know this big thing, changes coming this year.
We've got a lot of things going on at Haney, and right now one of the first things is the GED test. There's over 1,300 people in Bay County that started taking the GED test, and they didn't finish. They may have just one test left, and if they don't finish passing all their tests for the GED, they're going to have to start all over come January 1st, 2014. So they have this year to December 2013 to get everything passed. The new test is computer-based. It's going to be a lot more difficult. And so I encourage those individuals, if you started your GED, you need to come to Haney. Let us help you finish accomplishing that goal.
That's some really important news right there, because like I say, like he said, when they change over to the test, it's going to be a lot harder.
A lot harder.
Yeah, the curriculum is different and all. So.
Yeah, the test they're taking right now is based on standards from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So they're bringing them up to current standards. A lot more algebra and the math, a lot more reading in the literature. So it's a huge, huge change.
Yeah.
We just had regional training yesterday at our school, trying to get the teachers prepared so that they're ready to start teaching new curriculum.
Yeah. All right, so get the word out to any of your friends and family who need to take the GED. Get it done this year. Okay, what else is going on up there? I know the new programs.
Well, we've got a new program started. We've got our aviation program. It's been in existence now for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
We have several airframe and power plant mechanics that have graduated and gone to work. One was just hired this week, starting with a local company, and is going to be making good money per hour at this job. We've got the new aviation class, or the next aviation class, starting on February the 13th. So everyone needs to come in and get registered for that. Because of the interest in the medical admin specialist program, we're going to start a new program on that Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, trying to help people to get started in that profession.
Okay.
We currently have like 30 students, and we've got 25 on the waiting list.
Okay.
So we're going to get those on the waiting list, get them registered so they can start a new career.
Okay.
And then we have openings in our electricity trades. Proud to say my son was just hired by a local company, and he went to Haney in the electrical program, and he was able to use those skills he learned at Haney and is applying them to his new job. The automotive technology, automotive collision, we have openings in those.
Okay, and that's something we all at some time needed that kind of work done. And
yeah, and we're going to start a new program designed specifically for the shipbuilding industry in Weldon. That will be on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday nights.
okay.
So if somebody has a day job and they're looking for a new career, they could come to our program at night and be trained to be able to go to work, maybe at Eastern or another shipyard.
Well, that'll be good. I know, and all kind of things you do with welding. I've always thought about taking that class just so I could weld me some tree stands and fish traps and all.
Or fix the boat trailer with the axles or whatever.
Yeah, that's all good stuff. But the big thing, well, a poster here on GED, but the big thing now, make sure everybody gets the word on that GED. Make sure you understand this is last year to take the original test. It's going to get a lot harder, so get that word out for everyone out there. Okay? And I know you've got some really good teachers out there. I know a lot of the teachers at Haney.
I'm really blessed at this school to have the quality teachers that we have, and the caring that they, and the passion they have for teaching and for the students. And they really look hard to try to, when the students finish the program, to try to get those students placed in the career that they've trained for. You know, we don't want to train someone in the area of business or construction trade and then they go work in a completely different field. We want them to work in the field that they were trained. And we were talking yesterday of people that have completed the program with 1 year of education, and they're making more money than you and I make together, you know, starting out. And it's just amazing the success stories that we have with students from Haney completing their programs.
Well, that's really good. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back with some really nice pictures you're going to enjoy. Hi, welcome back. Sitting here with Mike Heppenstall, and we're going to get started on some pictures. We got all kind of pictures, from families to big bucks or a lot of fish that Mike has caught. So let's get started on this. We're going to start with Donna Melvin, one of my former students way back in the day, up there in Fountain. She and her family. She talks about how much she loves to take her family camping and fishing and all, and we're glad to share these pictures with us. She looks like she's about to have a good time on it. All right, and we showed this one the other day of Gloria Turner. That's a 5-pound trout come out of one of our West Bay creeks. That's a great job, Gloria. I know Gloria fishes hard there, fishing with Daniel Snout. Now, check this out right here, folks. This is a buck from Tyndall. That's amazing that they get that big at Tyndall. That's a 10-point buck, and that picture sent to us by Jack Hagler, and that's Chris Walding, and we're going to see if we get Stan Kirkland to score that. That is a huge buck for Tyndall Air Force Base, and you wonder how they get that big. Look at those scrub oaks and little pine trees. You know, you wonder what kind of food they get, because it's not a management area as far as feeding them and all. But what a nice buck right there. And now I want to go into a couple of. Let's go over here to. This is a picture sent to us by. You know this is like a long-tailed deer. Okay, this Ken sent this to me. Ken Kirkland, and just on a game camera, just hadn't seen a deer with a tail that long in quite some time. All right, now let's go to fishing. Over here, Sandy Creek. Guys over here, Tracy Neighbors sent this. Rayford, Ray, and JB fishing Sandy Creek. That is some nice trout there, fellas. Good eating right there. Okay, now Mike Heppenstall. Mike, tell us about this fish right here.
Well, this is a big red that we caught in the past right here at the Panama City, there at the jetties. And this year we've caught it's amazing the number of fish that we caught. And we tell people about going out and catching 20 to 30 reds at a time, and they look at you like you're crazy. There's no way.
Yeah.
But just using live pinfish. And this, we were just a couple miles offshore Found some AJs that were running, and this is my buddy Randy with his AJ that he caught.
That's a nice calm day right there.
That was a nice
Now,
calm day.
these boys fish about every weekend, so I'm getting good reports now. Tell us about this one.
Well, this is my father and my brother and I. We do an annual trip up to Smith Lake in right above Coleman, Alabama, and this is a 20-pound strike that we caught this year.
Wow.
And
You got that lucky hat on, I see.
I've got the lucky hat on.
Okay.
And this is a picture of here again in our past. A friend of mine, he's a minister of music at a church in Georgia. This day we caught 26 reds within about 2 hours using live pinfish. And it was just, as soon as we get to the spot, we drop down, and all three of us, my buddy Randy taking the picture, but all three of us would be hooked up at the same time.
Yeah, that's fun.
And then this is a picture of a friend of mine that over in Port St. Joe Bay, they caught 3 monster reds ranging 30 to 40 pounds. I mean, it's just incredible the fish they were catching over there. And this is just one of the benefits of being out on the water, being able to see God's creation and the sunsets. And I've never seen 2 sunsets alike, and it's always a privilege to be out on the water and just see what we can see on coming in.
Well, that's the truth. That is so true there. What about this one?
This is an unusual fish. First one I've ever seen in St. Andrews Bay, but there's probably more. But for me, this was a first. This is a juvenile African pompano, and it was just an interesting fish, and thought to take a picture and bring it. So if somebody catches one, you know what you have.
All right.
This is a picture of my dad. One of the striped fish he caught that morning on the lake up at Smith Lake, and there's a lot of fond memories.
Well, I know you. I remember over the years you've always gone fishing with Dad that time, and I know he loved to fish with y'all.
He really loved to fish, and this is what we always like to see. We always wanted Dad to be hooked up first, and always wanted him to catch a fish. And those fish, you can see his knees locked into the side rails of the boat to keep from being pulled over. But he loved to fish.
Okay.
And this is another 20-pound stripe that I had to caught another day. And the stripe fishing up there is just incredible. And like I said, we were doing it just so we could have a family outing. Yeah.
I know. Speaking of that, I know you just lost your dad recently, over the Christmas holidays and all that. You told me all about it. I knew the relationship you had with your dad, and what a great time how the outdoors sort of bonded y'all together. In addition, just to being family bonded, but y'all did a lot of stuff outdoors.
We did a lot of stuff outdoors. Didn't do too much hunting, but the fishing, just carrying your kids or your dad or your wife or just a family member out gives you an opportunity just to talk and share. When you don't have a TV, cell phones you can turn off, and just have some good quality family time.
Well, I know the times y'all had, every year we'd send out pictures of those stripers and all, but in addition to that, he would come down here and fish some with you. So.
Yeah, when he was finishing up his chemo and his radiation for the cancer he had, back in June, was the last trip that he was able to go out. We went out and he caught a lot of speckled trout. Yeah. And just had a good day fishing with him here locally. Yeah.
I know, Mike, we talk a lot of times about fishing live bait and jigs and all, and speckled trout, and we just talked about catching those redfish with pinfish and all.
Right.
Because you caught those on outgoing tide most of the time.
Outgoing tides most of the time.
And a lot of folks locally can take advantage of that. It's an easy trip to get out of the jetties and just throw some live fish over and then catch them.
And you really don't have to have a boat. Yeah. You can fish from shore.
Yeah. I've got to where I enjoy that trip as much as just taking people and letting them hook up. And I've caught enough out there one time, I think. I do like to catch one every now and then, but I like to see other people catch theirs. That's a great place to take someone like you took your friends coming down from Georgia.
Right. And over about at the Tyndall, you know, people think, oh, that's just a fish story. Last weekend, went out to Tyndall fishing out there by the research lab. In just a couple hours, a friend Kurt and I, we caught 59 speckled trout. And if you have kids that maybe don't get to fish or know how to fish, if you can find spots like that where they can just catch fish and keep them their attention span entertained.
That was Kurt Davis?
That was Kurt Davis.
Well, Kurt's an old bass fisherman now. He would have known how to catch them.
He did. And what was interesting on that trip was I did not realize the importance. I know I used to do a lot of bass fishing, and the color was very important. But he was using a red jig head with a DOA swim bait that was root beer with chartreuse tail. I was using the same DOA chartreuse tail, but I had a chartreuse jig head. I wasn't catching a thing. And after about the sixth fish, I thought, I need to hurry up and change jig heads. And so color does make a difference, even with the jig heads. The weekend before that, my buddy Randy and I, we went, and same thing. We noticed that I was catching the speckled trout and the flounder using a gulp shrimp, new penny, on a red jig head. He had a white jig head, and Mike Powers, a friend of mine, he had a white chartreuse jig head. I was the only one catching fish. And so color makes a difference when you
they
fish.
switched over to your color pretty soon?
No, they didn't figure out the secret. But it was a great, great, great day.
All right. All right, let's take our final break. We'll come back and talk more fishing with Mike Eppenstall. All right, welcome back. Sitting here with Mike Eppenstall, the principal at Haney Technical Center. I don't guess we use the word principal much anymore. What's your official name?
Official title, I'm the director.
Director, okay.
Director.
Education just has this thing about never being satisfied with what we do. And so we always got to change something. It's just very frustrated. But Director Mike Eppenstall. But let's take a look at our fishing game time for today, okay? Here we go. Our time this morning, 2:02 to 4:02. We just passed it, but this afternoon, right in the middle of the afternoon, 2:27 to 4:27. Okay? The Panhandle Outdoors time of the day. Now, I want to, Friday we didn't get a chance to get our drawing for tarpon dock seafood, and I felt bad about it because a lot of y'all sent in your interest and all, but I said, well, I promise you Friday we'll do it on Monday. So we are going to do our tarpon dock seafood. We've never done it on Monday, but I don't see a rule against doing it, so we're going to go ahead and do it, Mike. We're going to look at all the interest already had the first week, but y'all keep sending me in. And by the way, y'all are sending some of the nicest emails, and I really do appreciate it. I enjoy reading them, and I just really appreciate the things y'all are saying. I really do. Now, so you don't have a lot of competition the first couple of weeks. So, Mike, I'll let you draw a name out here. This is going to be first will be $20, and the second will be the red snapper. Okay. Well, Mike, this is a $20 gift certificate to Tarpon Dock Seafood, and the winner is Milton Prescott from Graceville. All right, Milton, first winner of the year. This is for the big red snapper from Tarpon Dock.
Mike Eppenstall. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, Martha Harrison from Sneed. So we got a Graceville winner and a Sneed's winner. We just got a great viewing audience all over Panhandle. We appreciate y'all watching, and we try to. Okay, got that one. So, and you can win 2 times during the year, and then make sure you can enter your wife and your dog. Don't enter your dog. Enter your wife and your husband and or whatever, but don't enter your dog. We're joking about that. Mike, we're talking about a job fair coming up pretty soon at Haney.
This is our 26th annual job fair that we have. We'll have approximately 60 vendors, between 50 to 60 vendors. One of the things that we've told our vendors when they come out, they have to have job openings. And last year was a great success. We had almost 2,000 people come through our doors looking for jobs. One of the things we did last year, we're going to do this year, is we're going to allow our veterans to have first opportunity to come in. So we'll open up first for our veterans. And we had a lot of people hired on the spot last year.
Oh, great.
So a lot of success, and there'll be more information coming about that. But this, just a tremendous privilege for Haney to be able to offer this to our community with jobs being so tight right now.
Okay. Talking about, January and February, talking about these are two of the coldest months of the year and all, but you brought a picture here I think sort of dictates how we all feel. It's never too cold to be in the outdoors. Y'all are fishing. Tell us about this picture here.
Well, it's below 30 degrees. I think it's like 28, 29 degrees. And I love hunting season because there's not as many fishermen on the water.
That's true.
And so this is my son and I. We get up and we decide we'd go fishing. And there's nothing wrong with fishing in cold weather. You just have to dress for it.
Yeah.
Dress warm. And we had a great day of fishing. And of course, any day again that you get an opportunity to go with your family is a wonderful, wonderful day of fishing. That is
so true and all. I know we go down Bell and Allen and I go down the Apalachicola River where it's 28 degrees and you got a wind chill factor.
Oh, yeah.
It's cold.
It's cold.
But it is so rewarding to do that. Well, we got a minute or two left now. What's your plans for, we right here mid-January, and it's going to be springtime before Noah. What kind of fishing you got planned the next couple of months?
Well, I'm in the process now, getting ready for the spring fishing. I'll make my own jig heads. Or my own jigs, and I use deer tail. I saw that lone-tail deer, and I was thinking, boy, I'd like to have that to use for making some jigs. But I make jigs out of deer hair, and I use it as a way to I'll sell them on the internet and all. And in fishing, I use it kind of as a way of getting to know people. My name of boat is Reel One In.
Yeah.
And I meet people at the docks and different places, and I invite them to go fishing as my guest, and we just have a good time, and it's a good way to get to know people. I've had the opportunity this summer carrying some people out from Kansas City and from Minnesota and just all over the United States. So,
that's great.
I never winterize my boat, but I always keep it maintained, and I'm always planning on going fishing, and I hope to go fishing this coming weekend. All
right. We got to get out of here, Michael. Thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate it. Thank you all for watching. Do something good for someone today. God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.